This call is now being recorded.
Okay, can you still hear me? Can you still can see me? Okay, very good. Because I think the internet connection lately become a bit slow because I am presenting from school. Yeah. Okay, if we have some trouble in internet connection, so I hope you can be patient lah, yeah? Because internet at school is being shared by many teachers, yeah? But never mind, if you can still hear me, and then if you can still see my presentation and then see my webcam, is it okay lah, yeah? Right. So a few announcements. All right. So beginning next week, there will be a new timetable for you. If there is any changes, okay, please keep yourself updated. Yeah? Please keep yourself updated, and then always check your Telegram group lah, yeah? Our science Telegram group, and then your class Telegram group, if there is any changes in timetable. Okay, because I'm informed that beginning next week there will be a new timetable. Okay, so that is announcement number 1. Announcement number 2, if there any problem with your exercise last week, so if I notice here, I ask you to do the exercise on where is the formative practice 2.1 and 2.2, and then your SPS science workbook. Okay, this workbook. Okay, science, what you call this? Process skill, form 2, page 12, 13, and 14. Do you have any question to ask? Until page 13. Sorry, until page 14. I'm sorry. No problem, yeah? Can you still hear me loud and clear? Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Why there is no notification sound here? What happened? I got sound here. Why there is no sound? Where there is no sound? Okay. So if there is nothing to ask, maybe if you have a question later, you can ask. So now we continue our lesson. Okay. 2.3, you can also open your textbook. Okay. You can also open your textbook, page 28. All right. So we are going to learn new topic for today, 2.3. Right. 2.3, the interdependence. Okay, you look at the title carefully. Interdependence, right? Interdependence and interaction. There are two processes here. Among who? Among the organism. Okay, among the organism here, meaning that the living organisms such as animal and plant, right? And among organism, number 1, between organism and environment. You make sure you understand the title carefully, right? There are two processes here. Number 1, interdependence and interaction, right? Interdependent meaning that one animal or maybe one organism depend on each other. One animal depend in other's animal. Depend in the form of what? Maybe depend in the form of food, for example. Okay, that is what we call interdependent, right? Inter here mean two or more organism. Inter. Okay, when such for example, when you having a competition, right? Having a running what we call competition. Okay, must have two or more competitor, right? Participant, you have, maybe we have more than one participant, so you have what we call and then this is what we call by interdependence, meaning you depend on each other. The organism depend on other organism in order to what? In order to live and in order to have the food, for example. All right, second one is interaction. Interaction is also what we call the communication, for example, between two or more animals. Okay, that is what's meant by interaction. Two, what is what we call the living things? The living things, what we call what is the words? Include here is organism. Yeah? Organism meaning plant, animal, and plant. Among organism and between organism. And then in this topic, we are not, we are not talking about organism, living organism only. We also talk about the environment. Environment mean the non-living things of in that area, the non-living things in that area. For example, the water, the soil, the minerals that at that site. This is what we call by the environment. Okay, so what we're going to do here, in this topic, you must able to understand, number one, to understand and to know the meaning of these terms, number one. Okay, the terms you need to understand first. So the first term here is habitat. Okay, the first term here is habitat. What is the habitat? Natural surrounding or the home of an organism. Okay, we cannot call the where the animal live a house. Okay, we must call it habitat, right? House is the home for human. Okay, house, we call it the house, home for the human. But for other organism, animal and plant, we call it habitat. Okay, number two, species. What is the species? You must understand the important terms first, ya. Terminology ataupun perkataan-perkataan itu mesti ingat. Alright, number two is the species. Is a group of organism. One group of organism that has what? Common characteristic, can reproduce and can have offspring. Okay, same species. But the same species must have same characteristic and then must be able to reproduce and have offspring. Okay, for example, a group of cat, okay, a group of dog. Okay, that able them to reproduce. This is what we call a species. Dog and cats is different what? Different species. Why we call it different species? Because dog and cat, they cannot breed to have, they cannot reproduce to have offspring. Between dog and cat, no, because they are different species, they cannot reproduce. Okay, not just like in the cartoon lah. I know if you see the cartoon, yeah, the cat dog cartoon, that is what we call a cartoon only. But in the real life, cat and dog cannot be cannot what we call reproduce to have offspring, because they are in different species. Okay, different species, right? Okay, next one is population. So you must understand what is population. A group of organism, same species. A group of organism, same species, and then same habitat. Same species, same habitat. Right? Same species and then same habitat. Next one, the terms number 4 is what we call a community. Community, you must remember, have a few population. Few population of, what we call community is a few population. Within the community, we have many species. We have many group of population, and then inside the population, we have the group of same species. Okay, later I will show you the example. Yeah, but now you try to need to understand the terms first. Yeah, okay. Again, community, few population, different organism that live together in one habitat, and then has mutual interaction with one another. They got the interaction. For example, the interaction between dogs and cats, right? There is an interaction, right? Usually, you maybe know that dog hates cat, for example, right? That is the kind of the interaction. Not just in the good interaction, not just in the good way interaction, but maybe prey-predator. Because, for example, if I take the example between dog and cat, because they are different species, right? They are different species, so maybe they are not, the interaction between dogs and cats may not be very good. Dog maybe hate cat, and then they chase away the cat. That is the example of interaction within the what? Within the what we call community. Okay, within the community. All right. So the next one here is what? Ecosystem. The last term you need to understand is what we call by ecosystem. All right. What is the ecosystem? You just remember it has a few community, meaning that it becoming larger from the smaller group becoming the larger group. Okay. So ecosystem again is a few communities live together in one habitat and have a mutual interaction one another. Okay, and then include the non-living components such as water, air, and soil. Okay, so you look at the example here. This is one ecosystem. I just refer to your textbook because easier for you to remember because you also have your own textbook, right? So, figure 2.7 is the what we call by pond ecosystem. Okay, can you identify the species? Can you identify the species in this ecosystem? How many species you think there are? You can also refer to your textbook. Yeah, there are many species, right? For example, there are the dragonfly. We have dragonfly here. Okay, and then we have the fish, mosquito, and then we have water snail. These are the different species. And then what is the population mean? The population mean that there is a group of what we call group of organism, same species. For example here, right? A dragonfly here is one of the species. Okay. And then if the dragonfly live in the one group, we call it population. Maybe one or more group, one or more quantity or the one or more numbers of dragonfly, we call it a population. Okay, and then how about the others animal? We have fish here, and then we have the snail. Okay, this is the species. And then a group of fish, how many fish here you can see? 1, 2, 3, 4. There is four number. There are 4 fish here. So we can call that a population of fish. There is what we call a population of fish, right? And then how many snail? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is 5 water snail here. So you can say that it has how many population of snail inside the ecosystem? You can say there are 5 water snail in the ecosystem. Okay, So when you try to group all the population, for example, number one, the tadpole population. Number two, we have the dragonfly population. Number three, we have water snail population. And number four, we have fish population. And then include others one. So every population here, we call it a community. Okay, we call it a community. All right, and then how to explain ecosystem? Because the community here is a group of population with different species. Okay, so we call it ecosystem because it interact with other factor. It interact with other what we call non-living components, such as what? Such as water, such as the soil, such as air. Okay, this is included in what we call an ecosystem. Right, this is an ecosystem. Ecosystem, for easier for you to remember, ecosystem consists of community, and then the community have what we call interaction with non-living components such as soil, water, and air. Right? Can you understand all these terms and what we call the ecosystem? Any question about this? No, yeah? Okay, make sure you understand the organization. Okay, very good. Make sure you understand the organization of the what we call ecosystem. Okay, from the smallest one, we call it a species. And then a group of species we call population. And then the group of population, we call it community. And then the group of community interact with the non-living component, we call it ecosystem. Okay, we call it ecosystem. Make sure you understand this. Okay, so we continue. Page 29, a balanced ecosystem. What's called by balanced ecosystem, right? You must understand that organisms inside an ecosystem interdependent on each other. Why they need each other? Interdependent is like this, yeah. Interdependent, you can call it the other word for interdependent. They need each other. They need each other because maybe if one of the organism is absent, or maybe one organism is destroyed or die, the other organism may be not able to survive also. This is what we call by interdependent. We must have two types of species, and then each of the species interdependent need each other. For example, us as human lah. For example, we as a human, we depend on animal for sources of what? For sources of food. Not only animal, but also the plant. Because why we need them? Because they are our sources of food. This is what we call by interdependence, right? So why they need why they interdependent? Well, why they need each other? Because to ensure the survival of the species, to ensure their life. Okay, that is number one. Number two, they also interdependent on non-living components such as water, like air and soil. Okay, for example, plant, they undergo photosynthesis, right? Excuse me. Plant undergo photosynthesis to make their own food. One of the component of photosynthesis is water and light, and then also gas. Water, light, gas, carbon dioxide is what we call a non-living component. Can you imagine if there is no light, no water, no carbon dioxide, how the plant can make its own food? So this is also interdependent, not just interdependent between two organisms, but also interdependent between one organism and non-living components, such as what? Water, light, and soil. Okay, make sure you understand the interdependent. That's why we call it a balanced ecosystem. When they need each other, the ecosystem will sustain, will what we call able to live longer. Okay, next one. Okay, I already explained this. An ecosystem said to be balanced if the living organism and non-living component in the state of harmony without any external interference. Okay, the interaction, the interdependent among themselves with no interference must be in the state of harmony. Okay, imagine if the forest ecosystem, the tree were cut down. So most of the interference, okay, most of the interference is from who? Is usually from us human. Okay, human always, you know, I don't know, a human always has the tendencies to destroy, and then to what we call to get the sources without planning. Okay, can imagine if you ecosystem of the forest, you cut down all the tree, and then you destroy all the habitat, and then it will interrupt a balanced ecosystem. Okay, can you understand this? All right, so we go next one. Okay, you can read the rest of the topic. You can read it for yourself. This is an example of man-made ecosystem in the aquarium. Yeah, never mind. You can try to read it for yourself. And then for the experiment 2.1, I will skip this. Okay, I will skip this. Maybe when we have time, we will do the experiment later on when you come to the school. Right? So I will skip page 30, 31. And then I continue to page 32. Okay, 32. All right. So next topic is the importance of adaptation of living things to the environment. What is meaning by adaptation? Adaptation from the word what? Adapt. What is the mean by adapt? You try to comfort yourself. You try to what we call what is the words here? What is the simile? What is the simile of the adapt? You need to comfort yourself, and then according to the environment. Okay, for example, you are going to Japan, for example, or you are going to Korea. You are going overseas, and then you know at that time the condition, the weather at Korea or at Japan is very cold, so you must adapt yourself to the surrounding. What will you do when you go to Japan? You know Japan area, very cool area, right? Winter lah, for example. So you need to adapt. So what you need to do as human? Any answer? What you need to do when you go overseas, when you go to a colder place? You as human, what can we do? Anybody? Wear jacket. Yes, of course, wearing clothes. Jan Hao, very good. Wear the jacket. Yes, Chow Xiang, wear the jacket. So that is the example of what we call by adaptation. We adapt to the environment. Okay, we adapt to the environment. Right? Also, organism also can adapt to the environment as well. For example, here, tropical climate, desert climate, and then what we call by tundra climate. Okay, this is what we call a special condition, geographical climate in example of the climate in the world. Okay. For example, in the desert, What is the animal that you can found in the desert, not found in tropical? Example of the animal. In the desert, they have the animal in the desert, but in tropical area, there is no animal. For example, camel, right? Camel is the very special organism that live in the desert, but not in the tropical. Okay. For example, penguin. Penguin, you know, penguin. Penguin only live in colder place. We cannot get penguin in Malaysia, right? Okay. Maybe in zoo lah. Maybe if they want to rear, if they want to keep the penguin live in the zoo, they may need to keep the place cold lah. So that is what we call by adaptation. Camel only in the desert, right? Penguin is only in the what we call colder area. Panda, for example, panda is specific just found in China. Panda. Okay, can you find panda naturally in Malaysia? No, right? Can you find panda naturally in elsewhere? What we call they adapt themselves with the condition and the climate in China. Number 2, kangaroo. Where's the kangaroo come from, you think? Kangaroo is from where? Can you find kangaroo originally, what we call, can you find the kangaroo elsewhere in Malaysia? You cannot find the kangaroo in Malaysia, right? Kangaroo, for example, is the animal that only found in Australia. Yes, Jan Hao, in Australia. Kangaroo in Australia. And then there is another animal in Australia. What do you call it? Koala. Yes, koala. Can you remember koala? Koala also special in what we call it, already adapt to the situation in Australia, adapt to the environment in Australia. Kangaroo, we can only find in Australia. Panda can only be found in China. Okay, penguin in the colder area. So this is what we call by adaptation. Okay. Any you can understand this? Boleh faham ya? Right. Okay. Next topic now is 1102. Right. So this is very important. This is what we call by interaction between organisms. We have two organisms, different species or maybe same species or different species, and then what is their interaction? And then interaction here, not only good things, but only maybe bad things also lah. Okay. So what is the type of interaction here? Number 1, we have 3 interaction. Number 1 is symbiosis. Number 2 is prey predator, and number 3 is competition. All right. So in symbiosis, we can further divide it by 3. A is mutualism, B is commensalism, and C parasitism. Okay. These 3 interaction is under symbiosis, and then the others interaction is prey predator and competition. So you must understand, you must understand what happened in this interaction. Okay, is it between organism, same species, or different species? Okay, so we take one by one. Symbiosis, symbiosis first. Okay, symbiosis, 2 or more organisms, different species, live closely together and interact with one another. This is symbiosis. And then how many symbiosis? Mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism. Okay, these 3 interaction inside symbiosis has different interaction. Yeah, we go one by one. Okay. Mutualism, from the word mutual, M-U-T-U-A-L, meaning both organisms benefit each other. Okay, one organism got the benefit from other organism. The other organism also benefit from the other organism. they what we call complement each other. Complement, yeah, meaning that both got benefit. That's all. You just remember. That's all. Mutual. Mutual mean baiklah. Very good interaction. Right? So, example of the organism: clownfish and sea anemone. Okay, and yet you can read it for yourself lah. This one, and then the next one is lichen and fungi. Lichen and fungi live together and then benefit each other. Mereka tidak gaduh-gaduh lah. There is no fight among the organism. Okay, boleh ya, faham ya? Yang ini lain you boleh baca sendiri. Okay, next one is commensalism. Commensalism, you just remember, one is get benefit, another one got nothing. Is it true? One got benefit, one organism got the benefit from other organism, but the other organism do not get any benefit from that organism, but without harming. Okay, for example here, I will give you the example of organism between shark and remora fish. Remora fish always live under the belly of the shark here. Okay, whichever shark into feeding, whichever the shark find the food, the what we call the pieces of the small pieces of remain from the food will be eaten by remora fish. Okay, the what we call it will get the food from the scraps scattered by its host. So the shark is the host, remora fish is the what we call the other organism. It do not harm the shark. Shark will have no problem, but remora gain benefit from the shark. The shark gain benefit from remora or not? What can you understand about this? The shark get benefit from remora or not? Liao Yingtong, Jin Xuan. Yes, it will not gain anything. Got remora, without remora, or with remora, the shark remain, nothing happened to the shark. Okay, but remora fish gain benefit from the shark. This is what we call commensalism. Okay, this is commensalism. And then the other organism is maybe the bird nest fern and then the trees. Okay, one is commensal and one is the host. Okay, for example here, the shark is the host and then the remora fish is the commensal. Okay. Next symbiosis is parasitism. Next symbiosis is parasitism from the word parasite. Parasite, you know lah what happened, right? One benefit and other will harm. Okay, this is opposite of what we call commensal. Okay, one organism got benefit, the other organism become harmful because all the nutrient and then all the what we call the food is getting by the parasite. Okay, for example here, the parasite is the tapeworm and then the human intestine is the host. If the parasite is not destroyed, what happened to the host? In the case here, human. If the parasite is not what we call, is not killed, we do not try to kill the parasite, what happened to the host? The host got benefit or what? The host will not get benefit. Worst thing, the host maybe die or maybe got the lack of nutrient. So this is what we call by parasite. Okay. Understand that? Can you understand this? Can you understand the interaction? Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. Good. And then the other organism, lice, and then the animal lah, lice and animal, lice parasite, and then they suck the blood of the human and animal. Okay, that is what we call parasite. Okay, okay. Interaction number 2, prey predator, very easy. One eat and then one been eaten. Okay, for example, tiger and deer here. The cheetah and then the deer here is the example of prey predator. Okay, I think this one is very straightforward. I think you can understand it for yourself, right? Prey and predator. Okay, predator eat the prey, and then maybe others example lah. Okay, next one is competition. Competition from the word compete, right? From the word compete maksudnya bertanding. What they are compete for? They are compete for light, space, water, food, and mates. And then maybe there is an inter-competition and then intra-competition. There is a competition within the same species or different species. Okay, for example, this one. You can see the picture here. This one is the competition. Competition to get what? The picture. Can you see the picture? What is the animal compete for? The animal compete for what? Yes, Wamantai. They are compete for the food here. Okay. Competition, for example, yes, Ziying. Among the competition within the same species or different species here. So this is the competition between same species or different species. Can you see it carefully? Is it true? Same. We have first one species. This is different species, right? Okay, very good. So this is cheetah, right? Cheetah, huh? Cheetah. And what is the another species? And the species is, this one is what? This is lion. Yes, very good. This is lion. So this is what we call the competition to get the food among what we call interspecies, yeah? Different species. There is also same species. Okay, there is also same species. So you must understand this lah, yeah? Right. Okay, this is the competition to get the food. What else the competition? The other competition to get light, and then to get the habitat, space, water, and mates. Mates. What is mates? To get mates. What is mate? M-A-T-E. To get what? What is mate? They also compete to get the female lah. The males will compete to get, yes, couple. Yeah, Yintong, yes, they get couple lah. They compete to get the female. To get their girlfriend lah. We cannot say girlfriend lah. Girlfriend only in human, right? So to get their female. For what? For reproduction. Yeah? For reproduction. To have a new offspring. Okay. This one, yeah, for example, the zebra here is the competition among the species to get mate to reproduce. Okay, among the species. Okay. All right. Next one. Okay, I think biological control, I will, for biological control, I will continue next time. Okay, so we stop until here, biological control. Please remind me if I have forgot. Is there any question you want to ask before we stop here?
No.
No question, yeah? Right, so if there is no question, Okay, if there is no question, I need you to finish your homework. I give you extra, not extra lah, yeah. Continue to finish your exercise on your workbook from page 15, 17, and 15, 17, 18, and 19. There is an experiment activity inside your workbook, so we'll skip that. We'll skip that. Later we try to do it lah later. So again, you continue your workbook, page 15, 17, 18, and 19. Okay, all right. So never mind. I will remind you again in our Telegram group. Okay. So any question? If there is no question, I think we can stop here. Yeah. All right. You can always ask me anytime using the Telegram group or whatever. So we stop here. Okay. Thank you for your attending and then your focus and your cooperation. And then maybe we can see you all again next week. Yeah. Stay tuned. Yeah. Maybe there is a changes. Yeah. Maybe there is a changes in timetable. Make sure you keep check your Telegram group and then check your timetable from your classroom teacher, class teacher. Okay, so if you have nothing to ask, so we can end the class here. Thank you very much. So see you next week. Okay, bye bye. Bye bye. Thank you all. Bye bye.